and welcome to No Such Thing as a Bad Movie podcast. I'm April Atmansky, and I'm here today with...
Justin Declou.
Et Colleen Cunningham.
Nice try.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
And today we are talking about the French-Canadian movie Aline.
Emphasis on France because the star of this is from France, not Quebec.
I just found that out. But so do you want to watch a movie that is a biopic of Celine Dion? Well,
No.
This is it, except it's kind of not. Shut up, you. Who would want to? Well, this is it, except it's kind of not it, except it is.
It is
it's
a biopic of
It's the
Celine Dion.
closest thing you're going to get.
No, wait. So there was another one. I remember people talking about this. I believe, and I was looking it up. Yeah, there was like a TV. Yeah, there was one called Celine from 2008. It was a biopic of Celine Dion. It won a Gemini Award for Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role. Oh, maybe it was just a miniseries.
Who
TV
hasn't won
movie.
a Gemini for like Best Actor?
We all
just-
remember Christine Gwawi, right?
Wowie?
Gwawi.
Gwawi.
Yeah.
You really put a lot of mustard on your French words. I love it.
Because he's French.
Celine Dion.
Celine Dion?
Celine Dion.
So this movie's called Aline, colon.
Colin.
Call it Colin.
What is it? The Power of Love?
I think it's the voice of love.
Is it?
The voice of love.
So this is a movie. I mean, if you guys listen to any bad movie podcast stuff, we're like vultures picking the bones of this movie at this point.
I actually haven't heard another podcast
Really?
talk
The
about
Flophouse
this.
did it.
Did
really?
they?
Yeah, like last year. Yeah.
Well, this came out in 2020, I think.
It's 2021.
2021?
Which is even
Okay.
crazier because you've been threatening to watch
We've
this
known
movie.
about this for a long time. And then we were going to watch it at our friend's house, but the file didn't work because it was like a torrent.
It was like a mercy killing. It's like, sorry, guys.
So then,
It was a merci.
and then years later,
it was a merci killing.
I was
We're never going to get
somewhere-
tired of that. So stop listening now if you don't want us to stalk in French.
I was somewhere and it came up and I was like, so is it funny? And he was like, yes, it's hilarious. So I'm like, okay, it's going on the list. And then I was checking the list today.
He went,
and-
yes, it's hilarious. Did you look behind his back and he had his fingers crossed?
I don't know. Maybe.
Was he French Canadian?
He was not. No.
It's hilarious. Part of our culture.
Hilarious.
But no. So I was like, okay, I've been wanting to do it for a while. And is it as good as I heard? And yeah, it's really funny, but it's baffling. And
Did you
I would
laugh?
say that-
I don't think I
yeah.
laughed
Oh
once.
yeah. No,
I
we
would
were
say the
laughing at the
first
beginning.
half.
Yeah.
But
The second half is less fun.
Not
There's
at
no
the jokes.
jokes in the movie, though.
But
No.
it's not a comedy.
It's just like
It is a
straight
comedy.
ahead.
It is listed as a comedy.
It is
kidding
listed
me?
as a comedy. I mean, so the star is, it's confusing in French, and comédienne is just
A
actor.
musical
That's what they're
comedy
called.
drama.
Yeah. But so she's a big comedian. She won like César, which are the Oscars.
Oh,
in
I know
France.
the
She's a
César.
comic actor?
She is.
Okay. I did not know that.
Annette
I would
cleaned up at the Césars a couple years ago.
Valérie Lemercier.
Yeah, so she was in like, remember the Jean Reno film Just Visiting with Uma Thurman? Where it's
no.
a bunch of people. It's
Vaguely?
2001. Not Uma Thurman, it's Christina Applegate. And it's like a bunch of, I guess, French people from the past come. Anyway, that was a big film in France, and it's called Les Visiteurs. And she
God.
co-starred in it, and she won like an award for it.
Okay. But she's directed like 7 films or something.
She's in a live action. Is she live action Asterix and Obelix films? Yes, she is. Okay.
Oh, shit. Okay,
Yeah.
with Gerard Depardieu?
Yep.
No
That's
shit.
right. Yeah, she does a lot of comedy stuff.
This is so weird because, okay, I had no idea, first of all, that she directed this movie.
No, when we
but
watched it, we had no
It all
idea.
makes sense. Like, I found that out after I watched it. It
This
was like,
feels like a Make-A-Wish movie.
Yeah. Well,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It feels like, hey, you want to be in a Celine Dion biopic and you play Celine Dion?
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Now, we don't have the rights to use her name, so you're going to be Aline Dion. Good?
Sure.
And then we found out that it wasn't that at all. They actually decided to change the name so they could change things about her life, but then they didn't even really do that.
No.
Like, they
No.
definitely didn't do that to make it more interesting.
I
Like,
wanna
it is her life.
I want to ask you guys, what is your history with Celine Dion?
Well, I'll go first. So I grew up in the 90s as a
I was going to
teen.
say, what,
a
you
teen-
think Colin doesn't
as
have a more compelling story?
as a young girl.
Well, back in the 70s.
So when I was in like grade school, her songs were huge. They were on the radio all the time. Like my sister, I think, had that one album of hers, and so
like your English language.
Yeah,
songs.
only English language,
Okay.
and the "It's All Coming Back to Me" song. That's a favorite.
Which is wild. Is that like that's just a cover she's singing?
Well, I think they're all covers because
they're all covers. She doesn't do her own stuff,
which I didn't even know. But anyway, so I liked her songs like as a teen and a kid. I wasn't like I'm a huge fan, but I listened to it because it was around, and I liked pop music. Obviously, the Titanic song, and then kind of didn't really think about her after that because I got into more interesting music.
Well, she was just wallpaper. She was just always present.
She's a part. She was a part of. Yeah, exactly. You hear her in the grocery store, and I remember like going on a skiing trip with my mom, and like they would project music, and I was hearing like the latest Celine Dion song play, like that kind of stuff. So she was omnipresent.
I thought you were going to say
90s.
she was just like next to you
She
on
was there,
the
yeah.
the ski hill, like singing.
Yeah, so, and you got to admit,
that's a classic Celine Dion.
She has a fantastic voice, so let's not pretend like she doesn't.
Okay, I will have to. Okay, I'll say she has like a technically amazing, like incredible.
Oh man,
voice.
Colin's gonna come and drop it on Celine
No,
Dion.
I'm not dropping on Celine. Like I don't know anything about her very much.
Well.
so,
No, well,
like,
I mean, we know some stuff. So I will say that, like, as
I don't like her music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
it's not your type of music.
It's
That's
just not my
that's
jam.
totally
it's just
understandable.
Like kind of power ballads.
power
it
ballads,
goes down
yeah.
easy. It's not
I
challenging.
guess,
like,
but I just don't like this.
Yeah, but you like Carly Simon.
Carly Simon has like some soul and kind of character.
She's got grit, April.
Yeah, but she's like a songwriter.
I tend to
feel
agree.
Like
Celine
Dion,
is a little too squeaky clean.
She's a very and it comes across, and I think that's why she's very endearing. Like I kind of like how dorky and not cool she is.
She's kind of like Billy Joel, like fantastically talented, but not cool. cool.
Well,
Yeah, but Billy
he's like a
Joel
huge
writes his
asshole.
own songs.
yeah, he's a more.
Billy Joel like dated or was married to like Christy Brinkley. He's like fucking hot like model.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of people getting married, I think we'll get into that a lot in this movie.
Oh,
But-
boy.
So Celine Dion, she was on like the cover of the newspaper that would be in my house every second day because we would get a French newspaper that my stepdad would get.
The Celine Times.
No, Le Devoir, which is like a conservative newspaper, kind of like a Sun style newspaper.
Oh, so like
Yeah.
just trash and mostly like
But like
stereo.
you didn't
ads.
grow up in Quebec, but
No.
like because you were a French family, she must have been just like the biggest thing since sliced bread. It
Well,
was
we
like
didn't care.
oh my
I
god,
didn't
like
care.
a Quebec
April,
Quebec
they
person
didn't-
is the hugest star in the world.
They didn't have sliced bread in Quebec.
Oh,
And I'm not Quebec. I'm from Ontario.
You're from
so,
Ontario,
yeah.
yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, so
not
the-
interested.
When Justin was introduced to sliced bread, he's like, "Wow, this is the biggest thing since Celine Dion."
Celine Dion.
but yeah, so she ended up being one of like the big like divas, but like
huge. She was like apparently the second like singer to like accrue over $1 billion
probably
just
yeah.
in tour sales.
I would have to ask somebody in the LGBT community, but I don't think she is as much of a gay icon as the other divas are, but I think she still is.
Who are the other divas?
Barbara Streisand, Whitney
Oh, yeah.
Houston,
Whitney.
Judy Garland,
Christina Aguilera, Diana Ross.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now apparently the lady from Wicked is also a gay icon. What is her name? Ariana Grande.
The one who puts on that squeaky voice.
yeah.
That one.
But yeah, so
It's like Gilbert Godfrey or Bobcat Goldthwait. I'm glad she's able to
like,
make it work for her.
And I think Lady Gaga is kind of, she's a gay icon, but she's not necessarily, she has a beautiful voice, but she's not as necessarily as big of a powerhouse as say like Barbara Streisand or something, or Patti LuPone.
Barbara Streisand seems to me like I'm familiar with her and I know her songs.
Yeah.
but it's just people fucking lose their minds for Barbara Streisand. Like it's crazy.
I mean, she was huge, and it wasn't Cher.
I lose my mind
yeah.
for Sabrina Carpenter, just like I do for Barbara Streisand. Sorry, I was looking up who the pop stars that are popular now.
Charlie XC.
XT.
The thing is, it's not just about the singing; it's about the presence.
Wait,
it's the
Persona.
outfits.
Sabrina Carpenter dating Pete Davidson as well? What
I
is
don't
going
know. Is she?
I don't know who Sabrina
knows?
Carpenter is.
So I searched Sabrina Carpenter, and what came up is people also search for Pete Davidson. I was like,
maybe,
no.
Oh my God, that guy's dating everyone.
He's dating everybody. So, but like.
But yeah, so Celine Dion, I think it definitely is in that group, but I just don't know if she's as big because, like, people do. I'm okay. This is what I'm thinking. I'm like, would they do like a night of 1,000 Celine Dion's on Drag Race? Probably.
No.
But her outfits are not as iconic as Madonna, say.
No.
Well,
Well, she doesn't have like you said, like she's very kind of squeaky clean and very
It's kind of conservative.
Boring.
conservative
maybe a
and
little
boring,
boring,
and
yeah.
like in the movie, like she does a Tina Turner song,
And I'm kind of like, oh.
it's just like the whitest version of that song, you know what I mean? And it's like the dorkiest like dancing and but I mean that's kind of her charm. Like I've seen interviews with her and she comes off as very, very likable and endearing and kind of self
She's kind of
deprecating.
like sillier and just like a little awkward.
Wasn't there a recent
Yeah.
movie that she starred in as herself?
What?
Yeah.
Celine Dion?
I remember reading about this.
Because we were kind of talking about that watching the movie, saying like
it was called
wow,
Love
she's-
Again from 2023.
Oh.
It's a Screen Gems film. She plays herself in it.
She's able to
third billed.
act. I
Yeah.
thought that she was horribly, horribly ill.
Well, she acted in 2023.
Wow, I don't know the details, but she has some terrible like one
It's
in
called,
a billion disease.
Yeah, it's called stiff person's disease or syndrome or something like that. But
Yeah.
it sounds like stupid, but it's kind of
no, it's actually a
horrifying.
real thing, and it's
But
very
she
big
came back
fiction.
and sang. Remember at the was it Paris Olympics, like last year?
Did she?
Yeah, I think so.
Last
yeah.
year or
I
this-
didn't see
earlier
any
this
of the
year?
Olympic stuff, but yeah, you're right. I think she did, even
There
though
was-
she's not French. But
There was like an
French
opening
Canadian.
something, but she was huge in France, like obviously because she would like sing
Yeah.
French songs and like a lot of her earlier stuff like became popular. in
Je
France.
retourne à toi. Right? I'm coming back to you now in French.
I watched some show about her when I was growing up, and I don't know if it was behind the music or what, but there was something where she won an award for an English song, I think, and she like rejected it, and because it was like, I don't want to like disparage my French,
Quebec
culture that I came
separatism
from.
forever.
Yeah, I guess, but like, and you think maybe you would put that
Oui.
in the movie? No,
No
not-
drama.
not in the
No
movie.
drama.
The only drama in the movie is whether or not she's going to have
Did she
kids,
win an
and, like,
Oscar? Because it's
She did.
because the film
Not-
doesn't actually
not in the
clarify it.
movie.
They jump over
Not in
so
the
many.
movie.
Like there's so many.
There's
important
someone
events.
important that dies that I was like, did he die?
that
It's like off
Yeah.
screen. Yeah.
There's so many important events that they do like the opposite. They show like the unimportant parts and
Yeah.
they kind
Yeah.
of talk about it in passing. It's like,
Yeah.
remember when you had like a heart attack and like when this and that?
There's not
And it's
even
like,
really
what is
like
happening?
a moment where her husband dies. Doesn't it just also just kind of happen off
No,
screen?
he does die. You see the back of his head, and he's dying while he's watching her.
Well, he was in a hospital bed or something.
Yeah,
and then, like,
but
the next
you
scene
didn't
is,
see
like,
who
him
it
dead.
was. That's why I was like, wait, who died? And then
Yeah, it's very confusing. And then it's like,
like, does her mother doesn't even die on screen, does she? She's just gone from the narrative. I think.
she's gone from the
I assumed
narrative.
she was still alive.
Now. I don't think she's
okay,
still alive.
She had 13 children.
There's a very important part early. Okay, we have to get into this because like the mother, like I had to look this up afterwards.
Oh my
but
God,
we were-
her mother died in 2020.
Oh my
so
God.
she was probably still alive,
Alive,
in
yep.
the narrative of the movie.
But it's very confusing in the movie because the characters are played by the same actor throughout.
Yes.
their
So they look very
lives.
old at the beginning and very old at the end.
So Celine Dion,
Well, they do cast two younger actors to play her parents during their little montage.
very brief.
Yeah, for like
very
a
briefly.
minute.
And the one joke in the movie.
for the most part, the mom and the dad are played by these very, very old actors that look
Yeah.
like to be in their late 70s or 60s.
Yeah.
And at one point, the
and
mother-
Aline, played by a 57-year-old.
Okay,
This is the one reason you wanted to watch this movie.
let's get to
It's
this.
what everybody talks about.
This is
when
like the first third of the movie.
the
where-
Austin Powers Celine Dion.
Like
Guys,
if
I didn't even know this when I picked this.
you've seen,
Well, you didn't know this? This is what the whole
No.
movie's
wait,
famous
you
for.
told me.
Well, because I looked it up, but I was like, that's not. I just heard that it was a Celine Dion movie that couldn't
I
be called
certainly had
Celine
no
Dion. It's called
idea.
Aline.
So it's like it's like watching Orphan.
Yeah, but
And-
here's the
Yeah,
thing.
a good movie.
Like, if you knew how famous this actor was and you knew her as a comedian, this wouldn't be that weird.
Yeah, but it's like, okay.
Yes, it would. It's like Austin Powers and
I know.
Mike Myers and the Love Guru.
You're supposed to laugh at this as well.
But the thing is, this tone only lasts for like a third of the movie.
1/3 of the movie.
Like the first third of the movie, and then it just becomes a straight ahead like.
So it was supposed to be funny.
No, because so April has another idea, which I believe more is because Celine Dion famously married her manager. He met her when she was 12. 12?
Yes, and he was
12.
like 30 something.
He was 38.
And he'd already had like 2 marriages and 2 kids or something like that at that time. And so it's so fucking icky and disgusting.
It's a little creepy.
That April had the idea that's like, okay, this 57-year-old woman is like being shrunk down like hobbits because it would be too gross to think of this guy like
to cast a real 12-year-old.
He's giving her like looks through the entire like first third of the movie.
Yeah.
And they try to be like, oh, they only really got together after she was in her 20s. Bullshit.
Yeah, right.
Bullshit.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we got together when I was 19. It's like, fuck off.
They also try and make it seem like she was the one who initiated it, as if that makes it better.
It's so kind of gross. I don't know, but it's just
it's very gross. That's always been very gross.
I believe April's thing. It's like, I'm like, why would you go to the trouble of having the first third of this movie a 57-year-old person playing a
12-year-old,
like a 12-year-old and a 6-year-old at one point
in like a comically large bed, like
oh my
But
God.
they know what they're doing. Like if you notice the beginning of the movie, like they don't show her face for quite a while.
Yeah, well, she's looking over the stage at her family, and it's so creepy.
They hide it like in Dan Aykroyd in Nothing But Trouble.
It's so creepy. It made me like really uncomfortable.
And she's like pulling these weird faces, which I guess that was supposed to be a joke, but she just looks like a gargoyle.
Like she looks looks like 20 years older than everybody around her.
I will let you know that this film was nominated for many César awards, which
What is it, a French Oscar?
French Oscar. I think Best Original Screenplay.
Well, I thought I loved
Best Direction.
The Césars because they gave Annette all the awards, which obviously I love. But yeah, this movie doesn't deserve any awards in my opinion.
One of the Letterboxd was like the baby editing of Celine Dion.
Wait,
well, that was a puppet.
She won for Best Actress at the César Awards.
Oh my God.
Her performance in the first third is
it's bad.
It's very disturbing. It's just like watching a 57-year-old try to act like a 10-year-old. Like wee, yay!
It's supposed to be funny though. Like
it is.
Yeah, but it's not funny.
It is, but it's just very like the rest of the family is kind of funny, and
they're okay.
That's fine.
So this movie I looked it up. This movie was not approved by any members of the Dions. And so I guess they got around having approval by not using her name.
Well, she's a public figure as well, so
I guess so. And they do.
You can do whatever you want.
They do use some of her songs in the movie.
Do they?
They play "My Heart Will Go On," and
then she didn't write that. She doesn't own.
She didn't write it. Yeah,
well,
they don't have to license it through her. So
I guess that. So yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, did she write any of her songs?
No, she doesn't write songs.
So then they probably couldn't license them from whoever wrote them. I guess.
I guess that.
But they have some of those songs, don't they?
Well, yeah, they had All by Myself and Deep River Mountain High.
River Deep Mountain High. That is like the funniest performance. Like it kind of shows like.
Apparently, that was supposed to be the performance where she lost her voice. That wasn't clear to me.
Oh,
because afterwards they say you can't talk for 3 weeks or 3 months.
There's a lot of things in this movie that I think it's through the direction and the choices that the director makes that are just not clear. And there's one point.
Well, I feel like this is a movie that the people watching it are already like intimate with Celine Dion's backstory.
Yeah, they're supposed to already know.
You know these points, so they can just kind of gloss over them a little bit.
But I wasn't. So there was one point. I had to look it up after, but she did come from a family of 14 kids. Mm-hmm. And her mother. Okay, so in the movie, her mother looks about 65, 70, and she's talking to a priest. And then she'd previously in the previous scene mentioned her eldest daughter giving birth. But then she's talking to the priest like she's giving birth and she doesn't look pregnant. And so we were very confused. We're like,
oh yeah, because she says at one point like, I'm gonna have another kid and I don't want it.
And she's like, I'm too old.
Like,
I'm worried.
And
it's
you're
gonna
like,
come
yeah,
out
you look like you're
unhealthy.
65. I don't think.
yeah, and then you don't look pregnant. But then in the previous scene, you were saying, oh, your eldest is giving birth.
And then
blah,
in the
blah,
next
blah.
scene, so just cut to a scene with a child that you don't really see, and they're like, I think we'll call her Aline.
So it's
and you're like, what child is this? Is it
confusing.
this daughter's child or the mom's child?
Yeah,
It's the mom's.
so I had to look it up, and sure enough, Celine Dion's like sister was in her 20s and gave birth to her first child exactly when the mom gave birth to Celine. So it was like, okay.
Apparently, Celine Dion
Slap
not
a fucking
happy.
condom on, man. Like, what is that dad doing?
I guess Celine was not.
I can tell you what he's not doing.
Happy with the portrayal of her family. She's like, they made us look like a group of traveling. It was some French word. It was in the Wikipedia.
It's probably a slur.
It was like,
I mean, they seem Quebecois. And wait, are you
Yeah.
trying to tell me that like French people use racial slurs? Like
I don't
that?
know.
No,
Well, look it up.
never.
Look it up on the Wikipedia.
I'm
I
shocked
just-
this film doesn't feature blackface. Like
They're
that's
the
a big
host.
like French
Oh,
comedy.
is
thing.
it?
They're the host
Yeah.
like welcoming and inclusive people of all time.
I don't want to misspoke.
In all
misspeak.
of Canada.
But
I don't want to misspoke. Slap it on a bumper sticker.
Popity's nerfed.
Yeah, you gotta call it.
But I did kind of like that the movie was like French Canadian. Like they didn't just get like a bunch
Yeah,
of
I went
Parisian,
like, was it going to be Parisian people
Yeah.
trying to do French Canadian accents?
No, it felt authentic to me. It was, right, Justin?
Yeah, they're all French Canadian actors. Like I looked into it.
Yeah.
I think most of them.
And like this is what we said when we watched Red Rooms. I was like, I can kind of understand what they're saying, and that goes from learning Quebecois French in school, which is very different from Parisian French.
Parisian.
If I watch a French movie, I
What
can't
would
pick
you-
up nothing.
but
No, they speak
like,
too fast.
They do. Yeah.
Is that okay? So what's the main difference, like Justin, if you watch like a Parisian French movie?
It's just an
Just the accent and the
Yeah.
slang they utilize, and
Is it the
the,
pace though?
no, like in Quebec French is more like hillbilly French. Like,
But if
That's
that's
okay.
what you learned, that's
Yeah,
kind of what you recognize, I
Yeah,
guess.
but like in this movie when they say "win," like "wah,
wah.
wah,"
yeah, I guess so.
but like
Oui.
is like Parisian. It's like very
Yeah.
proper. But anytime I watch a Parisian movie, it's just like, whoa, like what,
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
what the hell are they saying?
And I took French 3 years of high school and 1 year in college. So I took a lot of it, but I can't speak it, but I can recognize.
I haven't
I can understand more than I can speak. You know
Oh,
what I
for
mean?
sure, yeah.
I
Or-
can speak like a sentence, but you know,
Yeah.
I couldn't have a conversation. But if someone was talking in Quebecois French slowly, I think I could do okay.
I could get the gist, I think.
Yeah.
You know what was good for me is like we went to we did like Quebec trips in like French class in like grade 10 or something like that. And I swear within like 3 days of like being there and like speaking to people, you learn way more.
Yeah, my class that I took in university was oral French, no writing at all. So just conversational French. So the class was you would sit and talk with somebody, and I learned more than I learned in 3 years of high school. You know,
Just having to like
just
go
talking.
and like interact
Now,
with
if I need
people
to
and,
write it in French and have proper grammar, I mean that's where it gets hard.
you go like, "Où est le salle de bain?" And they go,
Yeah, why would you ever have to write in French? You don't need to learn how to write.
We don't even write in English these days.
Oh, it's like ridiculous because we learn like the formal French. Like
They don't
writing.
even teach cursive
Exactly.
writing anymore
They
in schools.
don't. It's true. Nobody uses it. I could never learn cursive.
I only write in
writing.
cursive writing. That's the only way I write. When longhand, yeah.
Oh, I have this horrific hybrid of like printing and like
I find printing just takes too long.
it
I
takes
print.
too long, so I do
I
like
print.
I'll do the odd letter in like cursive.
Yeah.
Oh,
like-
and I have terrible handwriting too. So like when you're writing cursive, like the A is missing the top of it, so it's like a U. So
I
good
don't
luck
know
trying
if
to read
I've
it.
ever seen your writing, but I know your wife has terrible writing as well. I can never read what. This goes back to high school. I could never read her notes.
It's just not a useful like thing to have. But
Not anymore. No.
I can read
I don't
it.
think so.
But yeah, I would just like when I do write, it's just doctor. It's like a
Doctor
chicken
scribbles.
scratch or something like that.
Chicken scratch, as they
Yeah.
called it. But yeah, so not a lot happens in this movie.
A lot happens, but nothing dramatic happens in the movie.
Nothing interesting.
Yeah, so we talked about how Aline is a grown woman playing a little person, a la Orphan.
A 57-year-old playing a little person.
Her family has a band, and then as soon as she starts singing, everyone goes, whoa. I mean, it's a story as old as time. And then she's discovered by her future husband, Guy. Mm-hmm. Isn't his name in real life like Renee Aline or something like that?
Yeah.
But I have to say, like, whoever they got to dub her singing voice in this movie is perfect. It
sounds exactly
amazing.
like her. Yeah.
It sounds so much like her. And I don't really know, like, Celine Dion stuff, but it sounds exactly like her.
She does have a distinctive voice.
Yeah.
And it is a powerhouse voice.
It's really gross as a society. Like, people were like, no, this cannot happen. You cannot marry your manager who met you when you were 12 years old. That's literally pedophilia and grooming.
I mean,
but
it's the music
19,
business, man. Justin. Like, first of all, Jerry Lee Lewis. Exhibit B, wasn't there a guy who...
let's not forget
Ted Nugent adopted
Woody Allen, the saxophonist.
Who was the guy who like adopted a girl so he could
Ted Nugent
sleep with her or marry her or something?
He had the Ted Nugent who had a song called was it like Wang Bang Sweet Poontang or something?
Yeah,
he like technically adopted the girl, so he's like a pedophile.
He adopted her so he could like hang have have her around.
Yeah,
but
he got like parental sign off, so he could like fuck
that.
They're all fucking
so
creeps.
the music business is full of men like this.
Yeah.
Oh no, but me and Colin, we're going in our 2-man band. Will we turn to the dark side as well?
We're going on tour.
Rockabilly, that's all we play. It's a rockabilly ska duo.
Oh no.
The thing is, I don't think
if it's a ska band, we need like 15 more members.
I don't see anything wrong with age differences, but for the love of God, do not get into a relationship with someone who is younger than you when they are a minor.
That is in charge of their career. That is literally the definition of grooming.
Gross power imbalance there.
Yeah, but the way that it's played off in this movie is like so kind of chaste and like innocent and cute.
I like how her mother's like, "Don't do it," and thankfully she has a heart attack and forgets about it. I guess.
Well, then she just has to accept it. See, the thing
and then everyone's cheering.
At least they have that counterpoint, and she's like, "You're a dirty old man. Do not do this." And then Aline's just like, "I'm sorry, I didn't choose it. I'm in love."
Yeah.
And then it's two scenes later, they're married.
This is probably the only man you've ever known.
Exactly.
Or been exposed to.
They even say they're like, she doesn't have friends. She's had a very sheltered life. It's not. It's disgusting. I'm sorry.
You know something weird about this movie? There's not much religion in it.
No,
and if they're from Quebec, there would be a lot of it.
I'm assuming that's why they had 13 children. They were Roman Catholic or whatever. Yeah. Don't believe in birth control.
No, but they believe in making sweet love. Was he like every time he jizzed, it just found its way to her baby making section?
Yeah,
like across the room, he's like, psh.
Exactly. It's like, come on, like gotta get creative there with your birth control if you're not allowed to use prophylactics.
Yep.
Now were they banned? I don't know. Probably in like certain Catholic places.
I believe they are banned in certain places. Yeah.
In Quebec, you can't get them at the corner store. It's banned.
You can just get beer.
You can get booze there.
Hey, you can get beer in Ontario now. Thanks, Doug Ford.
Yeah, thanks for that $250 million buyout.
$2 billion buyout, I think.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That was the best thing about my first Quebec trip was
going
to the corner store in like grade 10 and you could like,
I believe
my friend
like
bought a King can.
Ooh.
Isn't it 16 in Quebec? That's the drinking age?
It's much lower.
When I was in college, it was 18.
18.
Yeah. In Canada, it's 19.
But I think it maybe used to be younger.
In Canada, it's 19. In the States, it's 21. In Quebec, it's much lower. I think it's like maybe 17.
Drinking
No,
age?
Quebec is 18. I just
18,
looked.
okay.
At least like I said, at least it was when I was in college.
Turn a blind eye, if you know what I mean. So I remember we went to Quebec
because they're drunk.
City. Yeah, well, they don't care. But I remember we went to Quebec City for like, grade 9 or grade 10, like French immersion trip. And it was like, we went to a bar and it was like,
you must have looked like you were a little tiny boy.
Oh, of course. But the only beer like we knew was
but it had the adult Collins face on CGI on.
So we went to the bar and the only beer,
how's it going?
The only beer I knew was Black Label. I think it was Molson Black Label because they had these like cool ads that were on TV. So it was like, I'll have a Black Label.
And said it with a French accent.
Yeah, they're like, $5. And they're like $5. And I'm like, I'll have a Coke. And they're like, $5. It's like, okay, well.
It sounds like they were screwing
I'll
with
have a
you.
beer. It's like $5. I'm like, that's amazing. What a deal. Yeah.
That's
so
actually
everyone
not a good deal in like 1981.
No, it wasn't 81. This was like 89.
Teenage college,
89.
1981.
I'm saying it's like grade 9 or 10.
Okay.
This is like, 89.
Black label, s'il vous plaît.
Yeah, black label.
So how was it?
It was fine. We all had like one beer and we're all like, oh, I'm wasted.
Oh my
Pour le
God.
reste du podcast, je vais le faire en français. Vous comprenez le français, right?
Oui.
Oui.
Où est la salle de bain?
Oui,
Oui.
je parle français un peu.
Ouais.
Un peu. Oui.
Continue.
Wait, so you were... Wait, Colin.
Oui. Ouais.
Colin.
T'es allé à l'école French Immersion, non?
No, it's
Oui.
Saint-Jean-de-Brébeuf.
Saint-Jean de quoi?
Tu vais French immersion.
Saint-Jean-de-Brébeuf.
Brébeuf was the school.
Brébeuf.
Oui,
Ok.
Brébeuf.
Est-ce que
Excusez-moi.
tu parles encore en français des fois?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
People are like, what is he saying?
Not since high
So
school.
if you're from France and you heard me talk there, you'll be like, oh yeah, that's Quebec French.
You're like, who is
Because
this?
like lots of abbreviations.
Who is this homeless
when you
person that's speaking on this podcast?
I've heard that
Ben ouais,
people,
là.
like French,
Tabarnak, esti de calice.
Parisian
Wow.
French people, they can't even understand.
No, they can't. A big chunk of my class went to France in high school. I did not. Not
It's like
not enough money.
It's like Quebecois, like very truncated and like
Truncated, yes.
Like-
and like so like they didn't understand what they were saying.
Yeah.
I can see
It's
that.
like ben je pense que like ben je pense
Ben
that's
je pe-
je pense,
Je
but you take away
pense.
the e, put apostrophe.
Are you
Ben
saying
pense.
I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like, well, I think, but it's
Je
said in a very
pense.
like hillbilly kind of way.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're just sort of like truncating everything.
Yep.
With like it's a
Yeah.
different rhythm. Whereas like
is a different
Parisian is
rhythm,
like
Je parle français de la France.
yeah,
avec
it's
un
like
accent.
and it's very like smooth and flowing. Whereas like
It's a little
it's like,
punchier.
It's like kind
That's because all the criminals came to Canada, La Nouvelle-France, the Australia of France.
They shipped him here?
They did, yeah, they did.
Is that true?
I believe so. I remember reading a book about it in
But then,
high school.
all the French Canadians like built the country. They made all the pacts with the natives, and like they were, right?
Oh yeah, all the great pacts with the natives, and there was nothing bad that was
Yeah.
going
I'm just
on
saying
there.
the
Nothing
French
bad
Canadians
happened.
were the trader, not the like English that came over later to like take over the country, but the French Canadians and the natives were very kind of
Yep.
like amiable.
Okay.
I will not comment on that because I'm sure that
Excuse me,
Might
I've
not-
seen the movie. What was it?
Black
Prey.
Robe?
Prey.
Prey.
They seem to commingle.
There was some French Canadians in that.
Oh yeah, there were some evil French Canadians in that movie.
Were they
Yeah,
evil?
fur
I don't know.
trappers.
Oh, they absolutely were because they were the main people. They kidnapped her, and then the predator
okay,
killed them all.
that's
Colin's like, I turned Prey off before all that happened. I assumed they were her friends.
Whatever. Back to Celine Dion.
So in the movie, she becomes a star in Quebec, and
She becomes a star instantly. There's like the first person they send her tape to, they're like, she's amazing. They don't really get into it, but she was like on TV all the time.
yeah,
Okay.
I knew that she was like huge on television.
As a teenager. Like,
yeah, and
Right.
there was that point that happens in the movie where he's like, she needs to take a couple years off. She needs to get her teeth fixed. She needs to learn how to coordinate.
Because
She
they
needs to
called her the
basically
vampire.
get pretty.
She was very,
and
very
grow
skinny
up.
and kind of like. But it's funny because we looked at the like early kind of album covers. She looks like Joan Cusack. It's so
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah,
she
that's
does.
just that was the look of the time.
I
You know,
guess.
Should have got Joan Cusack to play Celine Dion in this movie.
Yeah, they should.
I say yes.
Absolutely.
But they wanted her to be sexy because you have to be sexy to be a female pop star.
This is the things. I've never thought of Celine Dion as sexy.
I don't think that that's
She
an
doesn't-
unpopular opinion.
She doesn't give that vibe.
I mean,
No, she's always had.
Yeah.
So she was like the little sister, and then she was the mom. There's nothing in between.
Yeah,
really.
exactly.
yeah, I totally agree because in the 90s she soft rock, that's kind of like it's a mom rock.
Yeah.
You know,
mom rock.
like I
Yeah.
said, like a Leanne Rimes, like even Shania Twain, although Shania Twain is a little more of a
She's like babe-ish.
of a babe, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she hates Dave Coulier. That's her, right?
I think that was Alanis Morissette.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
Why did they date?
Yeah, that whole song is about him.
What?
Like a famous song. Isn't it ironic? That's about Dave Coulier.
No, not that one. Not that one. You ought to know.
Which one is it?
You ought to know.
Oh, you ought to know.
That's the rumor.
I thought Dave Coulier would have been ironic, because he's such a funny guy.
So she went from Dave Coulier to Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Apparently.
And Ryan Reynolds was in Dave Coulier's shadow at every moment.
She also...
I'm just trying to be funny, okay?
She also had an affair with a female college professor because she wrote a song about it much, much later in her career.
What was it called? College Professor?
It was called Hands Clean.
Hands clean.
I don't know why we're talking about Alanis Morissette.
You got to get your hands clean before you get down to business.
Last week we talked about what was your favorite, what was your first concert. My first CD I ever owned, Jagged Little Pill by Alanis Morissette.
Whoa, that's a little extreme.
I
as far as your
know.
parents,
I was
I'd be
in grade 3.
Wow.
Silly.
So
Yeah.
did you ask for it?
I
Or
did.
was it
Yeah,
just-
I asked for it and I got it. Yeah.
Man, remember when CDs came out. Of course, I bought a CD.
1972.
I went. Shut up.
Get me the mini disc player.
I tried. Many times.
Do you know there's a mini disc player fandom that still exists? They love it and they still
Not
make stuff for
surprised.
them.
Yeah. There's probably every little. What was the one in Last Action Hero? Was it the Sony mini disc?
I think it's probably the mini disc. Do you know what a mini disc is, April?
It's
no.
kind of like a cartridge, right? It's like a
It's
mini
basically like a
cartridge.
floppy disk, but you would use it to play music.
Yeah, but it had a mini CD inside.
Yep, inside.
But you'd put it in. I remember in Last Action Hero, which is probably funded by Sony or something, and then it's close-ups of him playing.
Is that a Warner Brothers movie?
I can't remember. Let me get another drink. Hold on one second.
Well, make it fast. It's
Continue.
I don't have much more movie to talk about.
What are you talking about? There's so much movie. So she becomes successful, and then she got more success and more success. She falls in love with her manager.
Yeah,
They
she
have a
gets
mansion
gelato
that's-
at one point.
A mansion so big that she gets lost in it. Can't you relate?
That was in the trailer, I recall.
Oh, was it?
It was I can't find my son. Where am I? My house is too big.
Hilarious.
And it happens instantly. It's
Yeah.
she's poor and then she's
rich.
mega rich.
Instantly, yeah.
Yeah.
You'd think that if you're going to do a biopic, you'd find some drama or something, but...
That's the thing. I mean, what could you put in this movie that maybe did or did not happen?
Maybe make the movie about her losing her voice for 3 months or something like that, or...
We mean
singing
make the whole
Titan-
movie about that?
Yeah.
Because that's
I'm
in
gonna
there, but it's boring.
I'm of the opinion of if you want to do a biopic, you got to pick one event of someone's life.
Yeah.
And make drama around that. The Cradle to the Grave thing sucks. This they could teach us in a class of how to do a bad biopic by showing Aline.
Yeah, because there's no progression to the story, really.
She's just so successful. There's nowhere for her to go.
Yeah, it's and it becomes about I want to have children, and then they have trouble having children.
But then
they have children. Nothing interesting really happens.
Oh, but isn't it sad when she has to give her baby away and go on tour?
Yeah, I guess.
But they seem to have a healthy relationship anyway. Wait, did she have twins from the get-go? Because later on she has 2 kids and they look exactly alike.
I think she has 1 kid, and then she gets pregnant with twins.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then they kind of look like the first kid, too.
Yeah.
Celine Dion children. Yeah, you're right. She has the 1, and then she has twins.
Yeah, and then they try and...
Nelson and Eddie.
Nelson and Eddie?
Yeah.
Interesting. But then they try and make it a thing of she becomes friends with her makeup artist, and it's so
but then they start a relationship together.
yeah, but it's barely shown. All that's all they really show is her saying, I don't know if I can be alone tonight. Can I stay at your house? And he says, okay. Yeah. And she sleeps on his couch bed with him. Doesn't even look like anything romantic even happened. Nope. And then that's it.
And then she's talking to Renee's ghost, her husband's ghost for some reason.
I think she was asking permission or something.
But nothing happens.
Did I miss a scene where there was a forced ghost of her husband who was Celine?
Yes.
He's unfortunately not glowing blue.
I'm in hell for what I did with you.
Yeah.
You must get to the Dagobah system. That's
the thing. It's she made him so rich. She's one of the biggest.
It's not a one-sided thing.
I
right?
guess
it's shown that he really managed her. It's just looking at her life. It's oh my god, how managed it is. And before she loses her voice, he's like, all right, you've got to do 3 shows on like Saturday, and then we do this. Then you've got a 1-hour break in the car on, Thursday.
You know, something weird about this movie is that it never gets into a relationship she would have with fans. Like, you never really see them.
No, she never interacts with fans. She just like waves at them in the audience. That's it.
Yeah, and then like when she goes back to her makeup artist's house, he's like, okay, it's like right down the street, and she's like, where is that? And he's like, you've never stepped outside in like Las Vegas? And she's like, no, never.
That's the thing. She's like an empty shell of a character.
It's just like a vessel. It's such a...
She's not given enough personality.
But it's not an enviable life.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
Like Renee is like spelling out her life. Okay, you've had a kid. You're going to do your show in Las Vegas. You're going to drive an hour and a half back to our house. Then you're going to spend 23 minutes with your kid. Then you're going to go to bed. Then you're going to wake up. Then you're going to do it again. Blah, blah, blah for 5 years. And it's just like, oh my God.
Yeah, it sounds like hell. A Las Vegas residency does sound like hell. It's funny because we just got back from Las Vegas, so it was like
Who'd you
seeing
see?
it.
We didn't. We saw
we should have saw like a Carrot Top or something. Carrot Top in
twice a year now?
No. We haven't been in 2 years actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like you see like these signs there for these like people, and you're like, oh man, they're just like stuck there forever doing this. And like maybe they'll ask like David Copperfield. Wow,
Still
how
doing
old
shows.
is he?
Wait,
Still
you guys should have
doing
gone and seen David. Do you know what the David Copperfield show is?
But we've talked
Was he
about
taken
talked
to your
about this.
island and like
the weird.
it's probably like
There's an alien.
Yeah, it's probably $200.
Yeah,
It's
probably,
worth it.
yeah.
Everything is so
you want to see the
expensive.
most bored magician you've ever seen? Like, hey, welcome everybody.
It was funny.
Penn and Teller is
Yeah,
still
we drove
there,
by his
too.
like poster, and April's
Yeah.
like, "That's a picture from 20 years ago."
Yeah, it's not a recent,
David Copperfield.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's
not
like,
a
you can't
recent
look like that
picture.
now.
Like
He still looks as young as he always looked.
well, if that's the case, then he's using some
75.
magic on his face.
Yeah,
David Copperfield. What episode did we talk about David Copperfield?
Many.
well, he has this.
It keeps coming back up.
Yeah.
For the Patreon, we have a new tier. It's let us go to the David Copperfield concert tier.
No,
Concert.
no.
I want to meet Blue 32.
Don't go to his private island.
Oh, no. With the
him
monkeys.
too. Oh God.
What?
Yeah, on his website it says that he's like training monkeys to do like things.
Okay,
with you.
I thought you meant the band, the Monkeys.
Oh no,
Oh
that'd
my
be weird.
God.
There's only
They're
one of them
mostly
left alive,
dead.
I believe.
Oh no! Was it Pete Dolan's or Mickey?
No, he's dead. I think
no.
it's Davy Jones, right?
I don't know. Yeah, what is the Dave? Sorry, the monkey that's still left alive.
Jesus
Sorry, I
Christ.
searched David
It's gotta
Davy
be
Jones,
Mickey.
and it came up as the guy from
Pirates?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
It is David Jones, right? That's
It
the
is
guy,
David
yeah.
Jones. Yeah.
So,
Oh yeah, he died in
Monkeys.
2021, I believe. Oh no, 2012.
2012.
Oh man, the CG's so good on Davy Jones, the Monkeys movie.
Homecoming Queen.
But yeah, like we talked about how she ends up in Vegas, and her mom dies seemingly
No, it's her
off
dad.
screen. Sorry,
No.
her dad. Wait, her does
No,
her,
I thought it was
it's-
Renee that dies.
It
No, it's her
is,
dad.
but her dad dies first, and
Okay.
and she was told like before
It's
she
like a
goes on
stagehand.
stage. And she cries on stage.
Renee and the producer are like, don't tell her until the show's done.
Yeah.
And then during a costume change, one of the stagehands is like, oh, I'm sorry about your father. And then
Yeah.
she's like, oh, and she breaks down on stage.
That's like Weird Al was told that both of his parents died of carbon monoxide poisoning, and he went out and he still did a show that night.
What?
I never knew that. I had not
Yep.
heard that.
Jesus Christ.
That's horrifying.
Awful.
But yeah, and then as we mentioned, Renee dies like because he like it's so weird. It's like they show him like eating like shish kebabs.
Okay,
and then they're like, I was like,
no,
okay.
wait, that's totally different. That's earlier in the movie.
I'm just saying that was the beginning of him having like some kind of heart disease because
Well,
she's
no,
like,
it's
oh,
can-
we
it's-
have to like.
He died of throat cancer.
he died of cancer. It has
Okay.
nothing to do with anything.
Then
but
why was that in the movie?
Because like it was so weird because like somebody's commenting, Renee, you're having a fourth shrimp,
Yeah, no, it was
then-
like steak or something.
and then no, it was shrimp.
Renee, you're hunting man for sport again?
But it was like,
I'm rich.
you're having a fourth shrimp? I'm like, I could eat 4 shrimp. Like, what's the deal? And then it's like the next scene, she's like talking, well, Renee had a heart attack. It's like everything is done off screen and talked about in
he
past
gets
tense.
put on like a diet for like the rest of the movie.
Yeah, he's eating like
carrot
puree
But,
or something.
yeah. And yeah, then he just dies seemingly off screen.
It's so weird.
So then there's a scene, the last scene in the movie-ish, where
he dies like Oliver Reed, like in Gladiator, like a body double that's just doing it for him.
Who gets a sword through his chest?
It's like someone. The actor was like, "I refuse to die on screen," and then they're like, "All right, we'll get somebody else, I guess."
Kill me.
Yeah. So then there's a kind of a poignant scene where she walks around Las Vegas and she takes pictures with tourists and no one recognizes her.
No one knows who she is.
And I don't know what that is even supposed to mean.
She comes across a French-Canadian Elvis for some reason. It's like everyone in this
movie.
movie.
Elvis Gratton.
Two guys.
Quebecers will know who that is. No, it's not.
There's two guys playing Elvis, but they seem to have French-Canadian accents for some reason.
Well, one of them has a very thick...
laugh.
I'm like... It was just some requirements, by the government. It's like everybody has to speak it. It's like, bonjour, je m'appelle Elvis.
Well, we're coming to the end of the movie, guys. What was your favorite thing? While I did enjoy the shocking CG, I'm just gonna say I enjoyed the music. Like like I said, I'm not made of stone. I do like the songs, even though it wasn't actually Celine Dion singing them. It was an impersonator.
It's good.
It sounded close enough that,
exactly like
I said, I can appreciate her talent, and
for sure.
Maybe it's not your cup of tea, and I don't sit around listening to Celine Dion songs, but I do like some of her music. So it was nice to hear.
It was a good kind of like bookend with that song at the beginning, and she sings it at the end, and it kind of pertains to her life.
Yeah.
Blah blah blah, and it's sung very well. Like I'm not.
Whoever is singing
it's not
amazing.
my bag, but it's.
My favorite part was when her husband died off screen, and then I had to rewind and see what happened.
Wait, what happened?
Yeah, I was like, wait, what? Who died? Was it her dad? No.
We got the biggest laugh when she first sees Renee after the time jump where she like gets her teeth fixed.
Oh yeah.
And then there's the slow-mo.
and her teeth go like ding.
They actually do a little
ding.
Now that scene made me kind of go, okay, this is supposed to be
April was
funny.
yelling out, "This is a comedy!
Yeah,
it's a comedy!"
Like, it was unclear.
She's a Mike Myers of France, April.
Okay, okay.
I guess. Well, that would make sense. They should have done like a what do you call it? Like,
what would Mike Myers do? Like a straight ahead biopic?
What was that? What was that movie?
Like Wayne Gretzky. Like Mike Myers is Wayne Gretzky. What was the movie
where you had the giant heads on like little people?
The Love Guru.
Love Guru. Okay.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
But I don't know. But it's like him doing like a Mick Jagger like biopic or something. You're like,
no, it has to be a Canadian. Oh. Wait, yeah, maybe not
Wayne
Canadian.
Gretzky.
Oh God,
that'd be so funny.
No, it's gonna be like it's gonna be Terry Fox or something.
Mike Myers
so offensive.
doesn't look that far off from Wayne Gretzky. I'm saying that right now.
What?
I want the Mike Myers Terry Fox story though. Like Mike Myers playing a 22-year-old
That would be the most
Terry
like
Fox.
offensive
That would be
thing.
insane, yeah.
Oh my God.
I mean, there's 30 made-for-TV Terry Fox movies that you can
At
see out
least,
there?
like I watched at least 17
Didn't,
growing up.
7th in class.
Didn't like Kiefer Sutherland play him at some point?
Oh, sure.
I don't know, I might be wrong.
So we probably watched like 1983. So 1983, the Terry Fox story.
Yeah.
John Kastner. I don't know who that.
That was like
Eric Fryer played.
That was like the TV
Terry
movie,
Fox.
I think.
Yeah,
I
there
think
were
every
so
Canadian
many.
watched that. It was like their duty.
Yeah. and
And
people
there was
listening
one called
did it even-
Terry from 2005, and that was Sean Ashmore.
Oh,
shit.
Sean Ashmore from
X2
X-Men.
fame.
X-Men,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wait, was he Iceman?
Iceman, yeah. X1, X2, and X3.
And Deadpool and Wolverine. Didn't he show up, or was that the
I don't
fireman?
think he's in it.
He's
It's
not
the
in
Fire
it.
sorry,
Guy.
he's
Yeah,
the fire
you're thinking
guy.
of Pyro.
All right, never mind.
But easy mistake.
Man, can you imagine if like Matt Frewer showed up in X? That's what I wanted.
As
I wanted
who?
like the really weird from the bad guy from Generation X, the Fox TV pilot.
Oh, you know what? He should have showed up as like Max Headroom.
No, he's in Generation X.
I don't
You guys
even
never
know
seen
what that is, dude.
Cares about that crap.
The 1996 made for TV as a pilot.
It sounds like
No?
trash.
No.
Jubilee was in it.
What?
Live action? Oh, it was huge trash. Who directed it? Oh, Jack Shoulder of
Oh
Freddy
my
2,
God.
Freddy's Revenge fame.
Oh no.
But anyway, Aline.
I'm exhausted for
that's
this
it.
Aline movie.
But I didn't hate it, guys. It was kind of funny.
I hated it. Terrible.
I feel like it has merit as a very, very weird biopic.
I'm gonna say if I liked Celine Dion, if I was a Celine Dion fan, this would be great. I'd probably love it.
No, you would be like, this is weird. Why is it called Aline and not Celine? And also, what does it suck?
I don't know.
But
how dare you put words in my mouth?
Yeah,
you know.
I hear Colin right now. I love Celine Dion. This was great.
Hey,
oh,
wait a
there
minute.
you
I didn't
go.
say that.
They can't tell.
Oh, God damn it.
no.
Wait, I want to talk about Matt Frewer a little bit more.
Wait.
Did you know Matt Frewer? Have you heard the rumor that Jim Carrey stole his shtick from Matt Frewer?
No.
I could believe that, though.
Yeah, because Matt Frewer, look at Max Headroom.
Oh, yeah. It's like,
it's exactly like Jim
righty
Carrey.
then.
And then Matt Frewer voiced the Jim Carrey character in the Dumb and Dumber
Oh,
cartoon.
no.
Coincidence? I think not. He's still acting? I'm looking here.
I don't know.
Matt Frewer's come up like every
He
second
was never
episode.
acting, Justin.
Oh, he was always just thinking
No,
of catch
never
Bowfinger
one
style.
second.
Anyway, I'm going to wrap us up here.
How dare you?
So Aline is available for rent off iTunes.
Yeah. If you're
Check it out.
Celine Dion fan.
I do feel like it has merit as an interesting movie with an orphan-esque performance. No, it's a much
People are
better
like,
movie.
what are you
Orphan.
talking about?
Yeah.
Orphan. Yeah.
The Orphan movie, which I hear
Well,
is getting
she
a
doesn't give an
second
orphan-
sequel.
She doesn't give an orphan-like performance in Orphan. She does it in Orphan First Kill? Is that what it's
I
called?
think so,
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
Apparently,
Good
there's a
point.
third one.
That's the
coming
one
out.
she Cliffords into.
That's right. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Clifford. Yeah.
Another movie we should have mentioned.
Yeah.
But if you want to email the podcast, we're at nosuchthingasa@gmail.com. And we
Do you think they could do a Clifford sequel where they put like Martin Short's
That would be the
face
best.
on a little person?
He's even
Oh,
older.
he doesn't even need to. You can just do it.
Yeah, just forced perspective. I would love that.
Do you know that he's dating
Meryl Streep.
Meryl Streep now?
For real?
Yeah.
Or is that only in Murders in a Building?
No, they
'Cause
met
that's-
during the show, and then they're
No.
like they're in love now. Yeah, I love it.
Anyway, we're on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Bluesky at No Such Thing Pod. And
Whoa! Update. We're not a couple. We are just very close friends.
oh,
just saw
Meryl
this.
Streep and Martin Short.
Martin
well,
Short,
you
yeah.
heard wrong, Colin. I guess, or maybe
This
they.
is from the creator of the show. He was like,
Well,
they've fallen
Really?
in love and blah 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 and this and
Okay.
that.
Wow. I don't like the age difference between both of them. Meryl Streep being 75 and Martin Short 74.
Consider supporting us on
And Martin
Patreon.
Short, you're thinking of him as Clifford.
Patreon.com/No Such Thing as a Bad Movie.
He's a,
If
Let me
you're-
wrap this up.
he's a 12-year-old boy, and she's a
Yeah.
75-year-old woman.
Patreon.com/
If you're subscribed at No Such Thing as a Bad Movie, if you're subscribed at the $5 level and up, you will get a bonus episode every 2 weeks. We just recorded one on Jason Reitman's Saturday Night. And we also take questions from the audience. So thank you for everyone who supports us on there. And
If you want to know what Marmaduke May is, listen to this week's Patreon.
yeah, coming up soon.
Coming.
And if you want to find me, I'm on Twitter and Instagram, although I am officially kind of no longer using Twitter. I'm on Bluesky now, so I still have a Twitter, but find me on Bluesky and Instagram
And you
at
can-
April Atmansky.
And you can find her driving her Cybertruck in the back alley.
Wait,
You know I don't
I
have
saw
a
a
license.
Cybertruck today.
Really?
They're around.
Yeah, I saw it just driving
was,
around.
was it getting towed?
No.
Justin, where can they find you?
Everywhere. Justin Decloux, DECLOUX. And December 7th, that's when I'm doing my holiday marathon online.
Ooh, that's
So
coming up.
Yeah.
check out my socials. I'll be tweeting about it. Probably be the pin post on the Twitter and Bluesky.
That'll be fun.
Yep.
I'm Sergeant Zima, SGTZIMA on Twitter, Instagram. It's like saying that in a French accent almost. Twitter, Instagram.
Twitter, l'Instagram, tu peux trouver à toutes ces places.
Le Sky Bleu.
Can we get some kind of like grant? Because I'm a French Canadian on this show.
Yeah.
NFB, give us money. You gave
Yeah.
Aline money.
Yeah, we have to do like.
Wait, the NFB did not give it.
I saw the credit come up.
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
swear, or you know,
Okay.
some kind of grant. Yeah.
the National Film Board in French is. I think it's the ONF.
It was like
Yeah, but I swear I
Téléciné.
saw it.
No,
Anyway.
it was like something like
Telefilm, I guess.
I think it was
Yeah.
Telefilm.
Office National du Film du
Yeah,
Canada.
I think it was a French
ONF.
film, but it was in collab
Right.
with like Quebec or something. Like
Canal D and Canal Plus.
that. Yeah, yeah.
Well, they probably got tax credits because they cast so many French
Quebecois.
Canadians.
Yeah.
in the
That's
movie.
what I was saying. Is like when you're like Elvis in Vegas is like French. I'm like, okay,
Yeah, you're kind of making a point of it. Yeah. Anyway, thanks for joining us on this musical extravaganza through the life of
Celine Dion.
Celine Dion.
I hope you guys listen to the musical version of this show where we sang every 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the $50 Patreon tier. You get the musical
we can
episode.
have a sing-along commentary.
But anyway, thank you for joining us. I'll see you next time. I'm April Atmansky.
I'm Justin Declue. Justin Declue.
Oh, Colleen Cunningham.
Avril Etmansky.
Avril Etmansky.
Avril Etmansky.
And remember...
Wait, why'd you say Avril?
Because
your
of
name is
I know.
April.
April.
Yeah,
April?
because of the month. Whatever.
Avril.
Oui, Avril.
And
Etmansky.
also Avril Lavigne. And remember, there's no such thing as a bad movie.
Wait, is Avril Lavigne French-Canadian?
No, she's not. I think she's from Napanee or something.
Avril Lavigne is like the most French-Canadian.
I know, but I don't
name.
think... maybe she... I don't know.
April.
Avril Lavigne. I wonder.
Not important.
Avril Lavigne.
Anyway, fading in.
Are you kidding?
No.
Fading out. Fading out.